video.
My name is Donatello. Some turtles, like me, were born to make things. And some turtles, like my brother Raphael, were born to break things. Take the sewer slider. Raph does. I designed this puppy for maximum speed and maneuverability, whether huck the
What
tunnels
could
or just
possibly
hovering
go
above
wrong?
them. But put Raph behind the wheel and it's smash up derby. Every time. I think I ought to start charging for parts and labor.
Whoa! Hey, come on, Donnie! It was an accident! I said
Lockdown.
That was another one of the early clips I remember when that show was first premiering. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Game Reserve. My name is Jagger Newman, and I'm Warren these parts. And joining me tonight is my old buddy, the master of the TKO, Tony. How you doing, Tony? It's been a while.
Good.
And bet you can't guess what we're looking at tonight. Yeah, we're taking a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, specifically the first game based on the 2003 series. So what do you know about Ninja Turtles, Tony, specifically the 2003 series?
So, I remember watching it on TV by 4Kids, when 4Kids was still a thing. And I very much enjoyed that series. It came on, I think, this Saturday lineup, and I remember catching it, and I know we just had a small, we had a discussion prior. I know that there's like 7 seasons now, they ran for 7 seasons. And the season that I remember the most was To the Future, the Fast Forward series.
Fast Forward.
Yeah, when they went to the future. That was nutty, but...
Yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as you know, was the franchise of the late 80s and early 90s. So, that was basically that generation's Power Rangers, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, whatever have you. It was just the biggest thing in the world. Animated series, comic books, video games, toys. It was just enormous.
Yeah.
However, towards the end of its run, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles started to fall out of favor. The main show that sort of stole its thunder initially was Power Rangers, which became the next big thing after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's actually kind of funny that ended up being the case because Saban, the team behind Power Rangers, would actually do a Ninja Turtles series, Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation, and they even did a crossover with that during Power Rangers in Space, but
really?
that didn't help the series in any capacity. Oh. So Ninja Turtles sort of fell by the wayside until around 2001, 2002, when 4Kids brought the rights to it. Now, 4Kids at the time was riding high because they introduced the world to Pokemon, which, again, was the biggest thing in the late 90s. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then they followed it up with Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was arguably just as big at the time.
Yeah.
So,
cards all the time at recess, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they decided they were going to take a stab at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they did some things different from the famous 80s cartoon. For starters, rather than go for sort of the goofy, campy stuff that the 80s cartoon did, the animated series was more in line with the original comic book, so it was darker, it was grittier, it was meaner, and Lord and behold, it became just as big as it says. So while I wouldn't say it was the powerhouse franchise that the 80s cartoon was, it was still a very popular show, and it would introduce Ninja Turtles to a whole new generation. Like, this was your Ninja Turtles growing up, and though I grew up with VHS tapes of the 80s cartoon, this was the Turtle series that was airing when I was a kid, so it holds a special place in my heart. So when I first started doing the stream, one of the earlier videos I did was of, the Cowabunga collection. I originally just intended to do the NES game, as I told you, but that was back when I went for 2 hours and the NES game was just frustrating me. I wanted to play something else, so I just played the other games on the Cowabunga collection. So I essentially covered the majority of the games that were based on the classic series. So I figured, why don't we start digging into the ones based on the 2003 series? And I know you watched that series too. I know you like the martial arts and stuff like that. You like the fighting games, just to beat 'em up. So I thought, why don't we have TKO on this one? It is a multiplayer game anyway, so I think I've ranted enough about this, so why don't we go ahead and get started here?
Yeah. So much nostalgia that's just built into it. And it is very, very reminiscent of the show. And obviously, another straight cut from the show, but yeah.
Yeah, and that sort of goes for this title screen too. Like, I think the logo is great. I love how it's a little bit sharper. It's cute how they got the turtles peeking out of the manhole there. And the background is just great too. So I think that's a good title. And I like the background music too.
Yeah!
Okay, so now we pick our turtles. I go first. Actually, I think you go first.
I could use a good workout.
Is that your favorite turtle? I'm gonna pick Raphael because he's my favorite turtle. He's got that cool Brooklyn accent. He's mad, he's badass. And I feel like the Psy would be most compatible with my boxing, so yeah, that's my turtle.
Man, this is the first time I've seen this game. And this is all like early to mid 2000s written all over it. Like just the modeling, the way the game looks, like it is so reminiscent of it. And, like it reminds me of like the Spider-Man game. I don't remember, not Spider-Man 2.
No, you're thinking of Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, when it was on the GameCube. Yeah. It has all that, like all the signs of it, and just like the colors, the way the animation is.
To be a true ninja,
you're watching a
you
show,
must
but then
become
like the
one
actual
with the
gameplay
shadows.
and the model,
Darkness gives the ninja power, while light reveals the ninja's presence.
Yeah, and once again, now they're actually
Now,
showing clips from the
Extinguish this
animated,
flame
like,
without revealing
I don't know if you
yourself.
can show this because you might get copyrighted.
yeah, that's what I'm concerned about.
Lord.
Alright, so the first thing that we always talk about are the controls, and controls honestly feel a little stiff to me. Movement feels a little weird since you can only move in 8 directions. But attacking feels alright. You got a basic strike. I mean, if you press the B button, you have a more powerful attack, light and heavy attack. Shoulder button, I think you got like a throw attack. And if you pull the L button, you do a quick dart forward, which I guess is used for dodging. So it's not the deepest system, and that's sort of the problem with this game. But it works fine for what the game sets out to be. And I do like the graphics in this game.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
actually
solid.
does look a lot like the show.
Yes.
And now we got purple dragons, Degens, to beat the craps out of. Nope.
Oh.
That's when you want to use your heavy attack when you're crowded like that, so you can make yourself a little more move.
Coming at you! Coming at you!
I will say I do feel like the slight, kind of like the slight, like kind of wonkiness, I guess.
Like, one thing I'm noticing is that with the movements, like, if you go to change direction, sometimes it'll get confused. I don't know if it's the control I'm using or if there's just an input issue,
Well,
but it doesn't feel 100% smooth. It's not terrible, I've played worse, but
I will say it does feel weird, just like maybe it's been a long time, but just like the camera angle is kind of a little wonky in this game, you know?
yeah, it's trying to be dynamic, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Delay, but you also gotta remember this is sort of a product of its time. This wasn't something that probably had a lot of money thrown at it. It's probably just let's find a developer who's willing to work for cheap and let's crap out a licensed game as quickly as we can. Though with Turtles, there is a pedigree to some degree due to the Turtles' history with video games, particularly with the 80s arcade game. I think the Turtles do have specific strengths and weaknesses too.
I'm noticing that too, because like just simply because Donatello has the bow staff. He has a much larger kind of like area of effect. Just being able to just kind of
Mind that barrel. Mind that barrel. That's an exploding barrel. So, to my understanding, the balancing is Leonardo. He's the balanced one. Doesn't have any strengths, but doesn't really have any weaknesses either. Donatello has the longest range, but he's not very fast, not very strong. Raphael is, of course, the strongest, but he's got the worst range, and he's not terribly fast.
Hell yeah.
And then you got Michelangelo, who is the fastest, but doesn't have much range and isn't terribly strong.
Okay,
we are
off the screen, getting bopped by villains.
That was BS right there. And the camera right now, it doesn't know who to follow right now, does it? But I mean, it is fun to beat the crap out of people in this game. It's at least got that going for it.
Yeah, I definitely gotta say this. Because right there, just now, like since we're having to kind of stick relatively close to each other, I kind of got off screen, I think I got kicked. And you got whacked, man.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me how in God of War you would sometimes get sucker punched off screen. The original God of War, I mean. It does seem like you need some strategy when you're playing in 2-player.
Yeah, just a little bit of just slight, some coordination.
You know what the single hardest co-op game of all time is, though, right? Battletoads. It's funny that we mentioned that while we're playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, isn't it? So, in this next level, you would typically fight. Well, you would fight Casey Jones. But I've already played a little bit of this to get an idea of it for the showcase. Okay. So we're not going to see that, but you're going to have to fight Casey Jones because that's who I'm going to pick for the multiplayer. You can actually unlock quite a few characters for the multiplayer mode. So you got all 4 of the Turtles, but you can also unlock Casey Jones, Splinter, Shredder, I think Hun, and the really cool one, you can actually unlock the Matayoshi himself. So yeah, that's some pretty cool side content.
That's kind of cool.
And I am getting really annoyed with the weird joystick input because it's making it hard to be precise.
Yeah, because I think it's just part of the like the era of like trying to get like multi-dimensional kind of figured out. Because I'm feeling it too. It is.
Yeah, they were still trying to figure that out around this time as well. Like, it just baffles the mind that it took them so long to figure out that the best way to use 2 analog sticks is to have one control movement while the other controls the camera. Like, why was that so hard for developers to wrap their head around?
I just think it's not really what they thought of.
I actually did rent this game once when I was a wee lad. And I do remember having fun with it, playing with my little brother. Obviously, it wasn't good enough for me and my brothers to own, because, we never did. Like, I bought this a couple weeks ago.
It's entertaining. It has its entertainment value for what it's worth. They're nostalgic.
Like as I said to you earlier tonight while we were watching the 2003 series in preparation for this, I feel like this is just a perfect example of a rental game.
Yeah.
It's a game that isn't terribly good, but has just enough to it to where it would be fun to rent for a weekend, just so you can have some friends over, have some pizza, gather around the TV, and just have some fun beating the hell out of some D-Gens.
Well, I agree.
Almost too easy.
So since we were kind of just playing through like, the first couple episodes,
I think the game covers essentially the first season. They do combine certain episodes together, but they mostly pick episodes with specific villains. So like after this one, you actually fight Nano.
Okay.
Wait, there was a line from Donatello I wanted to hear. Basically, it was Donatello saying, I thought we were the only ninjas in this town. Which, given that it's New York, that's kind of a silly thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
With how integrated the myths and legends of ninja and ninjutsu have become ingrained in popular American culture, surely there are a bunch of wannabe ninjas running around in New York. Baxter Stockman, definitely one of my favorite Ninja Turtles villains, apart from, honestly, the Shredder isn't even my favorite.
Really?
Who is my favorite Ninja Turtles villain? That is actually a really good question. Honestly, it probably would be Baxter Stockman, and how he is in the 2003 series, because the more common way of depicting Baxter Stockman is to have him mutate into a fly monster.
Really?
But I prefer it when he's fighting the turtles with monster machines. I just feel like that's more original.
No, I think that has the more feel to him. Oh, watch for the saw.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, I'm starting to feel the limitations of like the way the camera is, because like if you're fighting on one side of the screen, I'm fighting on the other, right? And it's kind of like pulling.
Yeah,
And so like
we can only get a certain distance away from each other.
For sure.
It's definitely better, like how it was in the old days, where you know, you had to move screen by screen so you wouldn't get too far away from your partner or partners. You know what? That's something else we haven't mentioned here. This is a Ninja Turtles game. Why is it only 2-player? Like, that should have been one of the first things they did. Should have said, hey, this is a Ninja Turtles game. We need to be able to play with 4 players, all 4 players at once. And what the hell are we fighting here? Is this like a
Giant T-Rex?
It looks like the Truckosaurus Rex, if you've ever seen that.
Oh, it's beating us up pretty good.
Try to go to the side, because it'll get you from behind like that.
Oh my god. Getting bullied.
Ah, tornado! It's doing the little kid attack. It is funny that we are so effectively destroying a machine with primitive ninja weapons.
Blasted.
Come on! Oh,
I'm
oh.
back. I'm back.
Wait, I don't want to be Mikey, I want to be Raph. I remember this in the episode that we're adapting to you. I know at the end of Season 1, Baxter Stockman comes at both the Turtles and the Shredder in some kind of giant robot. And learning from his previous mistakes where the Turtles would slice pieces off his robots, he made sure that every arm had its own power source. So the arms could operate independently of each other. But then Donatello was like, wait, so it's still powered? Fits up the arm and he can still use the cannon that's attached to it, so it sort of blew up in his face.
I wish to take.
See?
Okay, yep. This is like, oh man.
I sense a practice session in our future.
Shut up, Leo. Come on, Tony, you can do it.
Work is. How do you? Okay. Now it just feels. Yeah, the controls feel kind of backwards now.
Way to go, Shelford Brains.
The Turtles are trolling you.
I know. I'm struggling here. So I'm jumping because I'm jumping, but I can't.
You gotta jump and hit the A button. There you go. Some of the bots explode. Hey look, there's April and Casey. You found one.
Oh, okay.
Get it now?
Yes, kind of. So it's not like. So it's not as freeform like it was where we were kind of running around hitting it's like kind of like an awkward like command where like it's not like you jump and attack, you kind of stand up next to it, and definitely
It probably is a lot easier with Donatello though, because with Raphael, rather than strike downwards.
There's also because the controls are getting real wonky here. Oh, I don't know. Oh no, we don't.
Come on, Tony.
I'm trying. I'm struggling. Yeah, because I'm noticing it. It's not like you're trying to time an attack. You're just doing a sequence.
Yeah, essentially.
You
And like you can even chain certain attacks together. Like if you push the A button 2 times and then hit the B button, you'll sort of go from your light attack into a heavy attack, which is useful for when you got a bunch of enemies on you.
Oh, we did it.
You did it.
Oh my god, I was struggling. That was hard.
Hey, you still did it though.
Oh man, because part of that too, like for some weird reason, like we were talking how the controller kind of wants to pull, that it wants to pull you in a direction. I was feeling that. So definitely, yeah, the geometry is messing with the camera for sure.
I don't think it's the geometry. I just think there's a glitch with the input, or it might just be the controls we're using. We'll never know. Now with these things, see when they fall apart like that, you need to get away from them because they will explode and hurt you. There's actually some strategy in taking advantage of that. So like you take it down, get out and dodge. If there's a group of enemies around it, it'll do damage to the enemies.
Kind of like just how, kind of just what just happened right now. Because we just took one out.
Look, I didn't get away.
That's right.
Yeah, you're using that.
There's a lunge. Yeah, kind of like the yeah. Yep.
Hey, look, more degens. Beat the craps out of them. It's weird that the purple dragons are picking a fight with us here. Like, they weren't in the Nano episode. Casey Jones. So there's Splinter, there's Hun.
Let's do it!
Maybe it's just the controller. Maybe no.
Well, I've got mine under the table, so.
I don't know if it's the controller or maybe I'm just not like good. Because it got better. Like halfway through when I held it up a little bit more. Maybe it's just not reaching this connector like the wireless did. But it'll be fine.
Hey. Oh, it's pulling me back towards. Shoot it. Come on.
We were doing so good.
No, you don't.
I'm getting bullied.
Almost got you. Ugh. It's going right down to the wire.
Oh my god.
How about best 2 out of 3?
Sure.
Let's go to a different stage. I feel like with that one, you're naturally getting pulled to the back.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be Casey, though, because it's just too cool to be playing as Casey Jones.
Be ready for anything.
Fight in the subway. Just like in the Daredevil movie. You remember that?
You talking about the Ben Affleck movie?
Yes. Look. Wait, I can hit you from down there?
Yeah,
That seems a little unfair.
slice and dice.
I'm getting bodied.
Yeah, usually you kick my ass at fighting games. It's a little strange. Then again, this isn't a typical fighting game, is it? It's like a half-assed version of Power Stone.
I think you just have slightly more reach, so you're hitting me before I can hit you.
Well, that's 2 out of 3.
Dang.
The 2003 version of Ninja Turtles. What did you think, Tony?
It's as nostalgic as the day I remember seeing it. It is a production. It is a creation of its own time and era, and it still has not lost that luster. So
Yeah, I feel like that's where you get most of the enjoyment out of this game here. Like, this isn't something like the 80s arcade game where it really is a landmark in the genre.
Yeah.
It is just something that came out back in the day to tie in with a popular TV show at the time. And they had just enough effort put into it to where it would make for a fun weekend rental. Like how we're playing it. Just on a Saturday night, 2 buds, getting some pizza, getting some, well, when we're kids it would be soda, but for adults it'd be beer. But, and then just playing it for a bit, and then you put it down, and then you never play it again.